Well, it's not a gear hop, but I thought, what the heck? No reason why I can't make some chips.
That's working.
Well, I ran this head for about an hour cutting metal and ran it at various speeds from 90 to 180 RPM. And so it's time to take it apart and kind of take a look at it and see if we can analyze the contact pattern on the gears, make sure everything's okay, nothing's chewing itself up. But for some reason, my camera, when I filmed this section, went into auto slow mode, and that's why there's a flicker. But anyway, we're going to tear this apart. We're going to take a close look at the gears, make sure nothing's obviously wrong. Then we're going to put it back together, put it back on the machine, and call this part of the project done.
Let's see if I can bring you in close to look at the contact pattern on the teeth here. And there is a little bit of one per rev stuff going on when I listen to it, and I think there's a little bit of, this may be a little bit of a tight spot right there. I'm gonna see if I can bring you in close for this. You can see here the contact is mainly at the back end, and then once per rev it's kind of tightening up and going all the way up to about where it's supposed to be. So my guess is I've got a little bit of pitch line run out on this gear or the other gear. It could be either one. But on the back side, it looks like I've got good contact all the way out to the point of the tooth there, which is pretty much ideal. So that's good. It's a little hard to see with the camera, and I think I may just go ahead and clean this up, but there's a good consistent contact pattern on this half of the bevel gear set. No sign of distress anywhere, just kind of, I would say, contact that's consistent with some one per rev eccentricity, which is pretty much, I will imagine that's self-induced. I mean, the contact with this type of bevel gear is never going to be perfect, but honestly, this is a big, beefy ass gear, and it's only a 3 horsepower machine. You know, if we were talking about 50 horsepower or something like that, we might be looking for something a little bit better. But for 3 horsepower, I think this gear will last longer than I do, and honestly, that's all I really care about. So with that, I'm going to reassemble this in its greasy state, making sure that there's no chips or anything adhered anywhere, and we'll put it back on the machine. Okay. Remade this ring with enough clearance for the lock ring, wherever it is. Oh, there we go. Enough clearance for the lock ring. And so we're ready to go back together here. Oh, there's a chip. A long way from landed. That feels landed right there. Okay. Now we can slide this onto the axle. Aha, finger. Okay, lock ring. Nut. Good shot of my head while I was doing that. Okay. That should be all ready to go. Well, that looks pretty good. Alrighty then. almost rather deal with oil than this sticky ass grease. Well, I have made my bed. Ouch. Whoops, that's not a cap screw hole. That's a redundant dowel pin hole in the middle. I used that as a setup point because it was easy to identify the middle of all this stuff and stick a dowel pin there, and then I could adjust the angle of this thing until everything was lined up. With the ways out here, and then I finished all the machining based on that, and that seemed to work pretty well. While I've got the camera running in slow motion, I will tell you that the contact on the helical gears looks pretty much like high point contact. It's pretty evenly distributed across the face, and I think those gears are gonna last a long time. Okay. Calipers, put some wrenches away here. Anyway, so if you remember, you have to kind of become enmeshed with the machine in order to get this thing in with any kind of grace at all. Although I'm getting better at it.
Got heavy all of a sudden. Okay, I'm gonna tap that forward. That's a good place to start the adjustment process. Okay. Move this up. Hopefully you can see a little bit of what I'm doing. Whoops. Pull this back a little bit. It'll be easier. that's the assembly. I'm going to take it back over to the machine, and we'll put all that stuff on in a minute.
Hob right about here. Now, I had a key here somewhere. Don't really need the key. Okay. That looks pretty decently centered. Remind me to tighten that up when we get it over to the machine. I think we're ready to move, so stand by. This still doesn't have a drive look on it. That's one more thing I gotta do.
Study.
hold the mic up. It's the sound of the machine. It's not too bad. Take it up to 180 RPM, which is a little fast for hobbing. You can hear a little more. It's spur gear whine. But I'm not hearing the 1 per rev in there anymore. That's looking pretty good.
Well, there you go, the end of the beginning. I still have some more things to figure out before I can carry this project any further, but you know that's all part of the deal. Listen, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave me whatever comments you might have.